Join us on another adventure with Wild and Free,
Interior Alaska.
It's fall, which is personally my favorite season. Not sure it's everybody else's, but I absolutely love the colors of the tundra this time of the year. And also during the fall, we get out here in our side-by-side a little bit during caribou season. So we had an opportunity to explore a little bit further around our cabin and all of the different trails that exist out this way, and observe all of the beautiful colors of fall that we're about to share with you. And then in this episode and the upcoming episodes, we're really focusing on tackling the issue of our cabin kind of leaning and being unlevel, as you've seen us try multiple times to level it. And for fear of it shifting, we are going to be anchoring it in place and show you that in the following episodes. And before we get started though, we wanted to take the opportunity to enjoy a little bit of what's around us. In just a little bit, you'll see us explain exactly the issues that we are facing and how we plan to resolve them, but it doesn't necessarily go smoothly, of course. This morning, while we are going to work on our cabin issue, which I will explain in more depth in just a few, the boys are starting on this very foggy, drizzly day with hauling the wood over to our new woodshed in preparation for winter, because that is not far off. All the colors are changing out here. It is definitely fall. It is August 10th, my dad's birthday. First day of what season, Camden?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. What can we shoot today?
Oh, ptarmigan.
Ptarmigan. Yeah, so maybe we'll see if we see a ptarmigan later. These guys are brainstorming back here, and I'll go show you that.
We're trying to anchor the cabin today because it's trying to slide downhill. Now that it's summer, it's the first summer it's been completely standing, so it's a learning experience. So we got these cables and anchors and all this fun stuff, and we're gonna try and anchor it into the ground today so it doesn't move anymore, and then we can level the blocks, hopefully for good. It'll be all right.
So how are you going to do that? What's the plan?
Well, we're gonna put, I don't know what you call them,
D-rings?
anchor rings
Anchor
on
rings?
the back of the girders, and then run these 9-foot cables out and put those duckbill anchors into the ground. Hopefully that's enough tension to keep it from moving.
So the back's been the most stable part, but it's the front down here that's sinking, and it's kind of also like sliding a little over to this side. So we're gonna hold it in place so that it doesn't move, in theory. And then hopefully it's not shifting to the left and the right, and then it's just up and down that we have to worry about. So that's the plan. Now we'll have these cables running that hopefully we don't trip over and forget about driving over. So yeah, hopefully we're doing this all right. We tried with the other drill, the battery powered. It was not strong enough to get those lag bolts in, which is a good sign. It means they're going to be in tight. So we got to switch to the other one powered by the generator. And we decided we're going to attach them to the frame, the foundation of the cabin, because the cabin just rests on the girders. And going into the end of the girder, we weren't sure it was going to be stable, or like it would pull out based on the grain of the wood. So we chose the foundation, which the weight of the cabin on the girders shouldn't keep those from moving, and the cabin shouldn't slide down the hill because it's going to be directly anchored into the tundra, in theory. We'll see how all this works out. Step one is drilling the anchors into the wall. They're really just giant shackle, and we learned that that was not as easy as it looked. Meanwhile, these boys are awesome. They've almost got another row in. It's not the neatest, but they're doing it. And it's raining. Look at that. Got one in. We have to get the ratchet because this drill using the generator can't even drive them all the way in. So that's a good sign that they're going to be in there anyways. Look at that. The power of your own two hands is more than a generator-driven drill. Don't hurt that shoulder. This guy just had shoulder surgery.
You frigged it up.
It's his birthday. And this guy's recovering from his shoulder surgery still, and we're supposed to be not making him overuse his shoulder, and yet he's the one over here wrenching on that.
You gotta give it one of these. Where's that going? Nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah, that's solid. All right, one installed. You gonna do one over on that corner?
Well, do we want to mess with this first? I don't know.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's see how terrible it goes. So the plan is to put the bow shackle and, well, I don't think we're doing, right? Are we bringing it out to here? Because I don't feel like you're not going to get it in far enough. It would be really close, right?
Yeah.
You would have, I mean, maybe it's okay. You'd have to drive it in here.
No.
I mean, it's not gonna go that far in.
No. You gotta be back here because you'd have to.
You want oh, that's true.
So you're gonna be back here.
But even still.
Whoops. Let's try the right way.
Is it gonna be enough?
It's your guys' cabin.
I mean, I don't know. No matter what, it's still kind of in the way where we walk and whatever else. So
Yeah.
Well, if it
either
isn't,
here or we
you're
do
gonna be way up there. So.
yeah.
I think we try this.
You want to try it right off this?
Yeah.
So you want to do turnbuckle to shackle direct to the duck. All right.
The question is, where exactly do we want that?
That is a good
As far
question.
as we can stretch
Do you
it.
want to
till
open
the-
one of these? That way we have it connected so we know distance and we're not guessing.
That could be an issue.
You know, I didn't plan this. I take no credit for the planning of these gigantic shackles. Dude, you're good at fitting things in holes.
Not a chance.
There's no chance that is gonna fit. So, what about those other ones aren't gonna be strong enough, are they?
What other ones? Kid?
The ones for the inside. I can show you those.
They might be. I mean, those are pretty heavy.
What if we use that cable and we went through
Because you're not
And
gonna get that in through there.
and then you put the shackle on around the cable, like you held the cable somehow.
No.
We use this one.
You're not gonna
And
get the cable go through there.
well, we cut it. Or,
Yeah, but
You
you still gotta
slide
get
it.
into that end. That's the whole key on everything.
well, this guy moves.
What's the other things you have for the inside, Cassie?
I'll show ya. Alright. Why don't you explain to them the problem? Share with them your dilemma. You guys.
Well, the problem is this doesn't fit through the turnbuckle. I didn't think about that. When buying the supplies after work, obviously we're a long way from a hardware store. So we either gotta find a solution or wait, basically. What about those bolts? Put the bolt through it?
That's what I was
as things go out here, it's a change of plans because we don't have the right materials and we're gonna do it hopefully right. So instead of trying to make something work that's not gonna work and be long term, we are just gonna put in those anchor things, have those ready to go. Then we will get either larger turnbuckles if we can find some with a bigger hole and keep those D-rings, or get slightly smaller D-rings that fit through those turnbuckles. Not sure what the stores will have because it's limited, but obviously being, you know, about 100 miles from the closest store, we're not going to be doing that today. That'll be a next week problem. So we'll move on to another remedy for our other issue we will share with you, and hope that that works out, or figure out what we're missing for that. Clearly, things did not go as planned, but to make the best use of time, we ended up installing the rest of these anchors around the foundation of the cabin so they were ready to go for next time. So now we've got them all done on the one side, and we're working our way along the other side. Meanwhile, the boys over here are doing the best teamwork to empty this wood pile and haul it over to the woodshed. Like, I could not be more proud of them. They aren't arguing, they're just doing, and it makes my heart so happy.
Yeah.
They're such good boys.
I'm thinking the 45.
So proud of them.
Because it'll keep it from going.
Yeah, they're straight. So this guy, when he started, he asked Cameron, "You want a tape measure so they're equally spaced, or you know, level or anything?" And he's like, "No, we don't use those." And honestly, I think that's pretty obvious with all the work that we do. Yep, look at that. A little crooked, but you know what? We're here for function. Spacing, who knows? But if it gets the job done, that's how we do it out here, right? Yep.
Hey Cassie, they're kind of level with the ground, you know.
That's true. Hey, I was gonna say you went at least the same orientation, right?
Yeah.
You're higher on the left side on each of them.
See, I think like for that one he's working on, you'd want to come right up into here.
Yeah,
So that's pulling back in this way.
I think you're right. And
Because if you're over there and those back ones can't hold it as well, these aren't helping you. They're just helping it from going.
yeah,
So here it would do both.
I agree. I think it's gonna be fun to always be moving out and around these, and
Well, you're gonna
Where
have
we-
to start clearing a path over here.
More
Yeah.
fun than your cabin sitting like this.
yeah, yeah. No, I know we gotta do it. We gotta put this in place and keep it stable on the melting permafrost when that happens. It's just
But I
in
am
winter
glad to
they're
see
gonna
it
be.
hasn't moved any further on you.
Oh, yeah,
So maybe the ground under it is settled what it's
Starting,
gonna settle. But
hopefully. But who knows?
yeah, this is the first summer since you've had all the weight
all
on
of the weight on
Yeah.
it. Yep,
it.
Yep.
And you maybe you've hit bottom. That would be great.
that would be nice. All right, you
And
got
the good
one more
thing
on
is
the other
with
corner.
the deck tilted back a little, you're not so easy. You know, Cassie might not roll off the
You
front
don't
so
roll
easily.
off because it's a little like this now. Yep.
Okay.
Alright. I guess
What
do
now?
the other one around the corner, I
Got one
think.
more.
Yep.
He's wrapping up the last one over here. So, phase 1 of this project. Almost complete. Several more phases to go. So as you can maybe see, this wall is bowing that way. And it all happened when we were installing this final window, because when all these logs aren't exactly perfect, they're a little crooked, warped, kinked. So when we were cutting this log right here, this one we use the, what's that thing called again? We pried
PV.
the PV. We use the log PV to torque it to have it lay flatter. And, you know, it's screwed here and here and here and here, but not where the window was, obviously. So it was just the weight of these other logs holding that section in. And when we cut it, it kind of like got caught up in it, and it made a really loud noise. And from that point forward, it shifted out. So now it is, you know, these loft beams are also screwed into it, and everything is pretty much anchored, and we have support up here. But to be safe, to make sure that this doesn't continue to move outwards, we are going to be installing cables inside. So yeah, they won't be pretty, but they might serve as nice drying racks. So we're going to talk about what that plan is so that we're all on the same page. But essentially, on the outside, approximately over here, kind of in the middle between the window and the edge of the wall, we're going to put a 4x4 that runs the length down to the foundation. And we're going to do the same on this side, and then the opposite side of the cabin over there and over there. Those are going to have inside one of these guys that's going to come through at about the height of the ptarmigan. So we're gonna have to count which log that is. It looks like it's 1, 2, 3 down. So it's gonna come through probably right over here. And then that is going to anchor to just on the other side of the door. There'll be another one at the same height, and there will be a cable that ties this wall to this wall. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here. And then this one is gonna tie in to over that side, on the other side of that window, and then repeat that around the cabin. So we're gonna have these cables that are coming across to kind of tie everything together and keep it from all shifting as the cabin in general continues to shift. And so then the 4x4s are going to be held in with lag screws, and they'll be pretty much every other log except for, you know, the one that we're gonna anchor this guy into on the inside. And then the very bottom through the foundation is gonna be one of these bolts. And that will be holding in the bottom of the 4x4. So, and then the other sides will just be, you know, these through the inside. So we've gotta drill some holes today, attach all those, then figure out all of our cable connectors and cut our cable. And yeah, that's all we gotta do. No big deal. Sounds like a plan? Yeah. Alright, let's do this. Alright, this is the moment that we put holes in our cabin that'll either work out or we'll regret. We'll find out.
I'm gonna hit a lock screw with this, that'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. That is the problem with it being, do you want to go lower?
No.
Alright, we'll take our chances with the log screw.
Straight-ish.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yep. Go for it. Woo! We put a hole in here. Let's see if our thing fits.
Hope you didn't hit a wire.
Hey, look at that. We want washers on this end too, yeah?
One or two.
Alright, now measure how far that is from the window. Mark it over here. Well, we already got this set up.
Okay.
You can put that on there.
We're measuring. Hey, we're really doing it. Right around 13 inches. Oh. Down 2 1/4. See if I can do this. Same one?
Yep.
Okay. 13. This is the hard part.
4x4 length to cut it.
Here's the measure tape.
Right, here's the measure tape. So this will be like so, and then we'll put washers in the same fashion on the other side.
As you heard, we're now cutting the 4x4s that are going to be mounted along the outside of the cabin wall.
So I messed up with the shackles and didn't realize they wouldn't fit through the turnbuckles. You messed up with the bolts.
Hey, we weren't doing the 4x4 at the point.
And didn't buy long
time.
enough bolts. So as you can see, that is not sticking out over 4 inches to then go through the 4x4.
So they're 12-inch, but apparently that also means that includes the eye part. So it's 6-inch logs, but there's about 3 inches sticking out. However, when we initially bought them all, we weren't going to be putting the 4x4s on the outside of the wall to kind of give it more stability pushing it in. But then that sounded like a smarter idea, but we didn't account for the fact that I guess the eye is included in the 12 inches, so it's not long enough. So what are we going to do now so we make progress?
We'll mount the 4x4s.
Hey, but I just shoved that through another inch.
Yeah, we were also lied to on if it was all the way in.
Wait a minute.
So let me go see.
Wait a minute. That does look longer.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah, it is going to be very close.
Want the ladder?
He's so little.
I don't think you'll have enough
It's
to do a
like-
nut on there.
Can we hammer it in?
Yeah, we could hammer over here a little more. Let's make sure how close we're gonna.
Yeah. Let's see.
You gotta get the ladder.
Alright. So maybe we'll be able to make progress and use those. If not, the alternative plan, so that this whole day isn't wasted, because our other project didn't pan out, is to at least mount the 4x4s on the sides, put all those in on these other sides that aren't going to have 4x4s, and then once we get longer, those we'll just drill through the 4x4, bolt it, and then attach the cables. The next weekend we're out. But we will see what we can do. Also, it's starting to clear up a little bit, so that's nice. As you see, this is cloudy here. Not really a lot of sun. Let's see what our solar's doing. Oh, 15% input. It's better than nothing.
So we got it up here. We're going to mark where to drill the holes to attach it here. And then do things and stuff.
But why? Alright, he's not really great at explaining. So, we're going to attach it at the bottom with a bolt. The top obviously isn't quite long enough to go through, but it's going to hold it in the meantime. We're going to mark every log and drill the holes for the lag bolts, but we're not going to sink the lag bolts yet. We're just going to hopefully get a longer eye bolt next weekend when we come back out. And that way when we put on the cables and use the turnbuckles, the walls can still maybe shift back more level. And then we'll sink the lag bolts, because as they educated me, if we sink the lag bolts now, it's not really going to allow the logs to shift as much if we are successful in moving those few logs back in line again. So we'll get this one bolted at the top and the bottom, and the holes drilled and ready to go, and then we'll just have to sink the lags later. Well, it won't really be bolted at the top yet. That's next weekend. So we just drilled the hole for our bolt and our blocking behind it. And now we're going to drill the other ones for the lags.
I'm just having.
Is it going to be long enough? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I don't know if we got how many we were going through at the time when we did it all.
I think you're 3 or 4. Aren't you?
I think we are, and I don't know that we're going to make it. We're not going to make it. Nope, we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it through the wall.
Nope.
Told ya. Could have seen that one coming.
Well, we can duplicate this log and then
And
There you
then
go.
we've done that.
then you drink beer.
And then, well, we could do it on the others for the other one. get it ready. Should be the same. Should.
As you can see, we are just running into one problem after another. So we continue to drill holes for the lag bolts.
Boy, we're gonna get a lot done next weekend because we'll know everything we need now.
Yeah. Isn't that how it always goes? Kind of,
Okay.
yeah.
Duplicate.
Are we measuring and marking? Or are we setting it beside it and then just...
Set it
I'd say
right on top after we cut it.
Yeah,
But how do we...
we might want to, it should be the same. I don't know if we want to drill the top one and just make sure it's the same, or...
We could, and then just hang it up, and if it marks one, bring it over. Right on it. Hey, the sun's coming out. So, we're kind of basically duplicating what we've now done as far as being able to make progress, because our bolt that goes through the foundation and through that also is just short about an inch or so. So we can't get the bottom through either. That's the challenges of being out here, is the store is a very long ways away, and this is the longest that our store had. And we have limited stores, so we'll check a few more. We've checked a few to begin with to get these, and I think we have about maybe 2 other maybe options. And hopefully they'll have long enough bolts so we can maybe actually make more progress next weekend. But we're gonna do what we can. It can be a little frustrating, but you just gotta keep moving forward in all the different ways you can to at least make some progress, and then we'll sit back and drink beer. So yeah, that's the day. Right?
Yeah.
It'll look uniform on the outside. Where it lands on the lawn, maybe it'll slightly differ, but it'll still hit it.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be that
I don't think it
far
would
off
be so much off.
that it's like in between.
Yeah.
I mean, the logs are the same log running all the way.
As you can see, we have several issues that we're trying to address at our cabin, but we ran into several other issues and we need to get additional tools in order to finish this project on the next episode. Stay tuned.
Thanks for joining us.
Give us a like and subscribe and follow for our next adventures on Wild and Free.
Interior Alaska.